the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in the binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
We dissect nature along lines laid down by our native language. The categories and types that we isolate from the world of phenomena we do not find there because they stare every observer in the face. On the contrary, the world is presented in a kaleidoscope flux of impressions which has to be organized by our minds, and this means largely by the linguistic systems of our minds. We cut nature up, organize it into concepts, and ascribe significances as we do, largely because we are parties to an agreement to organize it in this way, an agreement that holds throughout our speech community and is codified in the patterns of our language. All observers are not led by the same physical evidence to the same picture of the universe, unless their linguistic backgrounds are similar, or can in some way be calibrated. Benjamin Lee Whorf. Benjamin Lee Whorf was an American linguist and anthropologist best known for his contributions to the study of language and thought. His work centered on the idea that the structure of a language influences its speaker's perception and understanding of the world, a principle known as linguistic relativity or the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. Whorf argued that differences in grammatical and semantic structures among languages shape how people conceptualize reality, emphasizing the profound impact of language on cognition and culture. His theories have sparked significant debate and continue to influence fields like linguistics, anthropology, psychology, and philosophy. Benjamin Lee Whorf was born on April 24, 1897, in Winthrop, Massachusetts, to Harry Church Whorf, a commercial artist, and Sarah Edna Lee Whorf. From an early age, Whorf displayed a remarkable curiosity and enthusiasm for learning, delving into books on a wide range of subjects. He had a particular fascination with codes and puzzles, which reflected his analytical mind and creative thinking. Raised in a Methodist family, Whorf's religious upbringing influenced his intellectual pursuits, and he later became interested in the mystical writings of Antoine Fabre d'Olivet, a French linguist and philosopher who believed in hidden meanings within sacred texts. Edward Sapir began his academic journey at Columbia University in 1901, supported by the Pulitzer Scholarship. At the time, Columbia was one of the rare elite private universities that did not impose implicit quotas to limit the admission of Jewish students, which were common in other institutions and often capped at around 12%. In contrast, about 40% of Columbia's incoming students were Jewish, reflecting a more inclusive approach. Sapir pursued his studies with dedication, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Germanic Philology in 1904, followed by a Master of Arts in the same field in 1905. After completing his master's degree, Sapir transitioned into anthropology for his doctoral studies, which he successfully completed in 1909. His educational achievements at Columbia laid the groundwork for his influential contributions to linguistics and anthropology. Whorf pursued a conventional education and enrolled at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology (MIT), where he majored in chemical engineering. He graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in 1918. After completing his studies, Whorf began working as a fire prevention engineer for the Hartford Fire Insurance Company in Connecticut. Despite his professional career in engineering, Whorf's passion for linguistics and languages grew steadily. He used his business trips as opportunities to read academic journals and stay informed about developments in the field of linguistics. In 1920, Whorf married Celia Inez Peckham, and together they raised 3 children. Throughout his life, Whorf balanced his responsibilities as a family man and an engineer with his intellectual pursuits. His interest in languages eventually led him to study Biblical Hebrew and indigenous Mesoamerican languages, laying the foundation for his groundbreaking work in linguistics. Whorf's early life was marked by a blend of conventional career choices and an insatiable curiosity that drove him to explore the complexities of language and thought. The phonetic value of certain characters in Maya writing 1933 investigates the ancient Maya writing system, focusing on deciphering the phonetic components of specific glyphs. Whorf applied his analytical skills to this field, demonstrating how certain characters conveyed sounds or meanings that linked to spoken Maya languages. His research in this area was part of a broader effort to decode Mesoamerican writing systems, contributing valuable insights to the study of ancient civilizations and their linguistic patterns. Benjamin Lee Whorf's first major work in linguistics, conducted in the 1930s, was his analysis of the Hopi language, an indigenous language spoken by the Hopi people of northeastern Arizona. This research led to his groundbreaking theories about linguistic relativity. In his studies, Whorf examined how the structure and vocabulary of the Hopi language differed from Indo-European languages like English, particularly in the way it conceptualized time and reality. He argued that the Hopi language lacked specific grammatical structures for linear time such as past, present, and future, and instead expressed time in cyclical or process-oriented terms. This observation, first published in his essays during the late 1930s, led him to propose that the Hopi people's language influenced their unique worldview, especially in perceiving and organizing temporal experiences. This work laid the foundation for Whorf's collaboration with linguist Edward Sapir, culminating in the formulation of the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. This hypothesis, which emerged prominently in the 1940s, challenged conventional ideas about language and cognition, sparking discussions about the role language plays in shaping thought. While his findings have been critiqued and debated over the decades, Whorf's work with the Hopi language remains a cornerstone of linguistic anthropology and cognitive science. Benjamin Lee Whorf's next major work delved deeper into the relationship between language, cognition, and cultural perception. In the late 1930s and early 1940s, Whorf turned his attention to broader linguistic comparisons, analyzing how diverse languages influence their speakers' worldviews. Among these, his examination of Native American languages, including Nahuatl and other Uto-Aztecan languages, stood out as highly influential. One of Whorf's central arguments was that languages exhibit profound structural differences that shape how speakers conceptualize reality. For instance, he highlighted the ways in which certain Native American languages utilize verb structures to convey ideas that would require nouns and adjectives in Indo-European languages like English. This discovery supported Whorf's theory that language fundamentally determines categories of thought. He posited that these linguistic systems were not simply tools for communication, but frameworks that actively molded the cognitive processes of their speakers. In 1940, Benjamin Lee Whorf's statement, "What linguistic pattern makes like is like, and what it makes unlike is unlike," encapsulated his idea that language shapes how we perceive and categorize reality. He argued that grammatical structures in a given language influence what we consider similar or distinct, acting as filters for organizing concepts and interpreting the world. This principle is a key aspect of his linguistic relativity theory. These ideas culminated in Whorf's 1941 essay, Science and Linguistics, published in the journal Technology Review. In this essay, Whorf introduced many readers to the principle of linguistic relativity, contending that speakers of different languages experience the world in unique ways because their languages provide distinct conceptual frameworks. He argued that the grammatical and semantic structures of a language impose patterns of thought, affecting everything from the perception of time and space to interpersonal relationships. Science and Linguistics not only brought Whorf's ideas to the attention of a wider audience but also marked a crucial phase in his collaboration with Edward Sapir, the prominent linguist under whom Whorf had studied earlier at Yale University. Together, their work cemented what became known as the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, although the term itself was coined much later. This hypothesis became a cornerstone of linguistic anthropology, emphasizing the intertwined nature of language, thought, and culture. Decipherment of the linguistic portion of the Maya hieroglyphs 1942 examined the linguistic features embedded within Maya hieroglyphic writing. Whorf's work in this paper was pivotal in understanding the relationship between the written glyphs and the spoken language of the Maya. He proposed methods for interpreting the glyphs as part of a coherent linguistic system, contributing to the ongoing effort to decode and preserve the linguistic heritage of Mesoamerican cultures. Loanwords in Ancient Mexico 1943 explored the phenomenon of linguistic borrowing in Mesoamerican languages. Whorf analyzed how loanwords, or words adopted from other languages, appeared in ancient Nahuatl and related languages, reflecting cultural exchange and interaction. His research shed light on the historical and social dynamics of language evolution, highlighting the interconnectedness of language and culture in ancient civilizations. Grammatical Categories 1945 was published posthumously and expanded on Whorf's ideas about how grammar affects cognition. This work delved into the ways in which linguistic categories such as tense, aspect, and gender structure thought processes differently across languages. Whorf argued that these categories are not merely tools for communication but frameworks for understanding reality. The paper's insights were foundational for the continued study of language and cognition in linguistic anthropology. Benjamin Lee Whorf passed away on July 26, 1941, in Hartford, Connecticut, at the age of 44. His death was caused by cancer, cutting short a life dedicated to groundbreaking linguistic research and intellectual exploration. But in due course it became evident that not only a physical situation qua physics, but the meaning of that situation to people, was sometimes a factor, through the behavior of people, in the start of a fire. Benjamin Lee Whorf. References: Whorf, B.L. 1933. The Phonetic Value of Certain Characters in Maya Writing. Millwood, New York, Krauss reprint. Original work published 1933. Whorf, B.L. 1935a. The Comparative Linguistics of Uto-Aztecan. American Anthropologist, 37 4, 600-608. https doi.org 10.1525 AA 1935.37.4.02 Whorf, B.L. 1935b. Review of the book Uto-Aztecan Languages of Mexico, by A. L. Kroeber. American Anthropologist, 37 to 343 to 345. https doi.org 10.1525 AA 1935.2.02.00170. Whorf, B.L. 1936. Notes on the Tubatulabal language. American anthropologist, 38 to 341 to 344. https doi.org 10.1525 AA 1936.38.2.02.00230. Whorf, B.L. 1937a. The Origin of Aztec T.L. American anthropologist, 39 to 265 to 274. https doi.org 10.1525 AA 1937.39.2.02.00070. Whorf, B.L. and Trigger, G.L. 1937. The Relationship of Uto-Aztecan and Tanon. American anthropologist, 39 4, 609 to 624. https doi.org 10.1525 AA 1937.39.4.02.00050. Whorf, B.L. 1941. The Relation of Habitual Thought and Behavior to Language. In El Spire ed., Language, Culture, and Personality, Essays in Memory of Edward Sapir pages 75 to 93. Menasha, Wisconsin, Sapir Memorial Publication Fund. Original work published 1939, reprinted in Carroll, 1956, pages 134 to 159. Whorf, B.L., 1946. The Milpa Alta dialect of Aztec with notes on the classical and the Tepoztlan dialects. In H. Hoyer ed., Linguistic Structures of Native America pages 367 to 397. Viking Fund Publications in Anthropology, No. 6. New York, New York, Viking Fund. Original work written 1939. Whorf, B.L. 1940. Science and Linguistics. MIT Technology Review, 42 6, 229 to 231. Reprinted in Carroll, 1956, pages 212 to 214. Whorf, B.L. 1956. Language, Mind, and Reality. In J.B. Carroll ed., Language, Thought, and Reality, Selected Writings of Benjamin Lee Whorf pages 246 to 270. Cambridge, Ma, MIT Press. Original work published 1941 in the Theosophist, 63 1, 281 to 291, also reprinted in Etc. A Review of General Semantics, 9, 167 to 188, 1952. Whorf, B.L. 1970. Maya Hieroglyphs, an extract from the Annual Report of the Smithsonian Institution for 1941. Seattle, Washington, Shorey Bookstore. Original work published 1942. Whorf, B.L. 1950. 4 articles on metalinguistics.
Wrecks on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark, unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No light, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. Pure and raw. Turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Pure and raw.
Okay.